we were at a taping, and it was just before Grimomania, and we were teaming Onslaught up with Tarzan, I believe, and they were going to have a match against Flash Carter and Jay the Key. I think it was. Something like that. I know Jay the Key was involved. I'm not 100% sure if it was Flash, but it was something like that. And they're setting up the match, right? And Onslaught got very upset, right? And he kind of came stomping and said, "I'm leaving, screw this." And I said, "Whoa, what's wrong? What's wrong, man? What's up?" You know, like personally, off camera, I was pretty good friends with Onslaught. So like, I was like, "Bro, what's happening? What's happening?" You know, I went to his car with him. He was like saying, "I'm leaving, fuck this." And I said, "What's wrong?" He calms down. And he said, "You know, too much over planning." He's like, "I'm old school. I call it on the fly." He's like, "There's too much planning, too much." He's like, "And it's all because of Tarzan." He's like, and he starts saying like bad stuff about Tarzan, which I don't want to repeat. But he's like, he just laid into Tarzan. He was very unhappy. And you know, and I said, "Did something happen? Did he say something to you?" Like, I didn't know why he was so upset with Tarzan, other than Tarzan was taking forever to plan the match, and he thought that this was nonsense. So I said, "Look," I said, "you know, if you don't want to do that, you don't want to work in that situation, we'll make it work. Let's just move you to something else, or move somebody else in that spot, and everything will be good to go." He calmed down. We had a little talk. Everything was good. We walk back over, and I tell everybody, "Hey guys, what's up? All right, look, there's going to be some changes. We're going into the taping. We're moving Onslaught out of this match. We're moving on to this guy to this match. Blah blah blah." And people are like, "Oh yeah, what happened? I wonder what the reason was." Like, people start like asking, why are we changing it? Whatever. And Onslaught just pops up and goes, "Because Tarzan," and he starts going off. And again, saying shit that I don't want to repeat. But he just started going off on Tarzan, which, like, in my opinion, almost felt like for no reason. We just rectified the situation. You don't have to start yelling about how Tarzan was taking forever and blah, 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 and how pissed off you were. Like, okay, like, I don't know. To me, that was the unjustified meltdown. Tarzan, who, you know, really hadn't done anything wrong other than taking the time to plan a match to make it look cool, was like pissed, you know, and justifiably so. So he comes down and they start arguing with each other, blah, blah, blah. And Tarzan's like, "Do something." And Onslaught's running his mouth. And then, you know, Onslaught wasn't going to fucking do anything. And so Tarzan was like, and spit off.